What's up, guys and gals? My name is Julie. Today is November 1st, and as you can see, we have a new background today. This is something I took in Assassin's Creed Origins, and I think it looks really cool. I think it looks really interesting, and I wanted to showcase it to you guys. However, we're not going to talk about AC Origins right now. We're going to talk about Destiny 2 and my thoughts on Destiny 2 and why the player numbers are obviously, dropping, and what do I think of the DLC, because I had a guy on PlayStation, a friend of mine sent me the the Curse of Osiris trailer in a message, and then I had somebody on a YouTube video ask me my thoughts on the decrease in numbers for Destiny 2 and my thoughts, and so I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? Well, I don't really need to be honest because if you've been here since before the beta videos started, I was bashing the hell out of Destiny 2. I was not impressed. I wasn't sold. It was overhyped bullshit like the first game, and I knew Bungie wouldn't deliver. And sure enough, not really fucking surprised, right? I called this shit before the beta came out. So, but then again, you get fanboys that say it's the greatest game since sliced bread, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to lie. The game you see right now on screen, Assassin's Creed Origins, a lot of people think this is the greatest game as of late, and it's in 2017. We're in 2017. Graphically, the game looks good, but if you watched my review of the game from somebody who's hit the max rank in this game and who wanted this game to succeed, I gave it a 5 out of 10. I gave it a 5 out of 10 because side quests were not very good, and the typical Ubisoft syndrome from other Ubisoft games is still in this good-looking, gorgeous game. I was hoping new innovation in terms of questing, new things besides, tower missions and fort mission repetition like typical Ubisoft games you always have would be in this game because they took off, an extra year. They didn't do that with the missions, and so I gave it a 5 out of 10. It's still a good game, but all the content in the game screams typical Ubisoft open world, which is not a good thing for the fact that they took off a year to make this game. So if I gave this game a 5 out of 10 and I gave Destiny a 5 out of 10, and even not Destiny, sorry, I think it was, maybe I gave Destiny 5 out of 10 and I gave Destiny 2, I think, a 5 out of 10 as well. Okay, but let me put it this way. If we were to go back in time and you were to ask me which game I preferred, Destiny, the original Destiny, or Destiny 2, I would tell you 100 times the original Destiny. I played the original Destiny for hours. I played it for so long, I grinded so hard in that game that I loved it. I would openly say I loved the original Destiny. The grind and the unique weapons locked behind hard mode bosses, elemental primaries. Up until Taken King, when Bungie started removing all the good shit about the game and adding what we call their vision into the game. Their vision being what Luke Smith wants, and fuck the consumer or the customer that bought our game. And it's at that point in time, around Taken King, that I quit playing because of those, interjections that Luke Smith thought were good for the game. Fast forward up till Destiny 2, we get the beta, and before the beta is even out, I made a video. I was reading an article live while I was recording, actually. I was reading that article, and before I even got to scroll down to see what was in the beta, I instantly guessed what would be in the beta. One story mission, maybe a PvP map, maybe two, and, no significant content in the beta. Meaning they're locking stuff off again, right? And if they're doing that, they're hiding something, right? They're hiding a lack of what the game has, right? The game probably doesn't have much. Well, sure enough, Destiny 2 comes out. The story's better than the first game. Okay, that's not hard to achieve considering the first game's main storyline was in a fucking expansion/DLC pack, so, and even then it wasn't the pinnacle of storylines, okay? Assassin's Creed Origin doesn't have a good storyline, but guess what? It's way better than anything Destiny's put out, even though it makes no fucking sense. Go figure. So, The point I'm trying to make here is Bungie had its shot with the first game, and it had its shot with the second game, and it failed. It failed both times. So it's just not surprising at this point. It's not surprising. That's really all I can say. I'm not disappointed in Bungie because I don't care. I don't care about the Curse of Osiris DLC either. I'm not buying it. I gave Destiny 2 a shot only to prove to the fanboys that their game was indeed a piece of crap. Which, by buying Destiny 2 and proving the fact that I was right, it's more funny to look back on now that. Because I didn't want Destiny 2. I never wanted to buy Destiny 2. I bought Destiny 2 to prove to fanboys who think the game is the be-all, end-all of gaming. I bought it to show them up, right? Because obviously they say, oh, you haven't played the game. It's just a beta. It'll be fine. You get that. We've talked about this argument a million times on this channel. People will say when a beta is coming out that it's just a beta. Betas nowadays are tech demos. Every YouTuber's covered it in the last, couple months, about what betas are. They're tech demos. They're not betas anymore. You don't test them and you don't give feedback. If you do, they don't really give a shit because they know that what they're going to put out is what they're going to put out, regardless of the feedback you give. So you could say a game has 100 bugs in it during its beta playthrough, and they'll just do a day one patch. They don't give a shit, man. They're companies. They're there to make money. That's how the world works. Unfortunately, but that's the truth. And while Bungie made a killing off Destiny 2, the people that got raped were the same people that defended the first game and all of its lackluster bullshit, right? All of its lackluster DLCs, the additions of microtransactions, the reselling of year one weapons that were already in the base game to begin with. Just talking about it makes me want to puke in disgust, because that's what that game is. It's pure junk. It's crap. It's worse than junk food, and I actually really enjoy junk food. Like, let's see, what junk food don't I enjoy? I used to like Cheetos. I don't like Cheetos anymore, so I would say it's Cheetos. It's like a really, really soggy bag of Cheetos, right? Not crunchy Cheetos, soggy, like they've been regurgitated and thrown up in the bag. That's what Destiny is. The entire franchise. So, it's just, and that's not just Destiny. There are other games that fit that description as well. More recently, Assassin's Creed has fallen into that state of disrepair, and Origins, is looking to fix that. And I'm hoping with content updates with DLC, they can do that. But while Origins is a good game, it's not the best game I've ever played. It's okay. Shadow of War, for a sequel, it did its job. It did its job well. But at the same time, adding 2 new maps to a game, for a sequel that when your first game only had 2 maps and then your sequel only has 4 maps, it's not really a big addition. Sorry, that's not innovative at all. That's lazy, but it's still a good game. Regardless of that laziness, it's still a good game. So, if you like Destiny and you still play Destiny, good for you. But I beat Destiny 2. Okay, so let me put it this way. Destiny 1 took me hours, months of time. Destiny 2, and Destiny 1, when I'm saying Destiny 1 took me that long, I'm not talking DLCs. There were no DLCs out in the base game of Destiny 1. I still remember farming Ascendant Shards and, Helium and all that shit in the first game before any DLCs, okay? Just to upgrade your weapon perks. And that shit took forever. But it was, that's what I wanted to do. That was my goal, to get all the best stats on my guns before DLCs came out. And I achieved that, and I did that. But I grinded for that, right? I grinded the moon, I grinded Earth for spin metal, all that shit. But Destiny 2, I don't need to do that. You know why? Because I beat that game in under a week. No joke. I got 3 characters almost to, the max light, which is, 350 or whatever it was. I don't remember because I don't care anymore. Max light. I had 3 characters almost at max fucking light without touching the raid. All I had to do was fucking public events. And that's it. That's all Destiny 2 is. It's public events and weekly resets. And after you do that shit, guess what? You don't ever have to touch that game again. Ever. And now they're trying to sell you DLC. Are you going to buy it after everything I've told you? I really hope not. Right? Because the proof is there. There's nothing else really to say. I mean, I can't convince you any more than I've already convinced you. If you still think that the DLC is going to be worth your damn time, then anything I've said in this entire video has become, you know, it's a moot point. It's entirely a moot point. I don't think the DLC anyone should be paying for with the shit we got in the base game of Destiny 2. Because Destiny 2, compared to Destiny 1, is a piece of... It's dog shit. Let's just put it that way. It's dog shit. And they want you to pay for more dog shit. That's what they want you to do. You know? If the DLC can save Destiny 2, like, I'm talking like fully revamp all of the crap that Destiny 2 is, which I don't think it will, because if it's $15, it isn't going to do that. Then, you know, I would say if it could fix every issue with Destiny 2 and that DLC, I'd probably pick it up for $15. Will it though? No, it won't. In fact, it's going to be corporate Bungie greed like it was in the first year, and they're going to charge you for it. I think the DLC should be free for the shit you got in Destiny 2, to be completely honest. But Bungie won't do that. Bungie won't do that. Activision won't do that. They're there to make a profit. And by charging you for the DLC to a game that already is completely bare bones on content, yeah, no, I'm going to pass on that. Sorry, Bungie. Not falling for that shit again. That's my thoughts on it. Destiny 2 player population dropping like a fucking bat out of hell. Am I surprised? No. Was it expected? Yes. Did I think the game was going to fail before the beta came out? Absolutely. Should you buy the DLC? Hell no. If anything, you should pirate it just to piss off Bungie and Activision. But, you know, it's been said 100 times on this channel. I can't convince you guys. I don't think it's worth your time or your money anymore. I think they have really blown their last chance. I don't think they deserve any more chances. I think they need to learn from their mistakes and their consequences. So we as gamers don't buy the DLC, boycott the DLC, boycott future Destiny products, and maybe they'll send out an apology for their scummy bullshit ways and tactics, or they'll close up shop and run back to Microsoft and start making Halo again. God forbid. But the way it's looking right now, I have no faith in that franchise or that studio anymore. It's completely done for them. So, with that said, guys, my name's been Joy. Have a good one.